Alright, gonna be showing off Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga today. So, I just beat this game on the normal difficulty on my first playthrough, and I really enjoyed it. I gotta say, I think this is a pretty good game. I don't think it's gonna be for everybody, though. It's pretty... I don't know. I don't even know if old school is the right word, but like... it's pretty rudimentary, but I think it's really good. It's been often talked about as like the spiritual successor to Ogre Battle. I would probably disagree with that statement. There's definitely a lot of similarities, and it can scratch that itch. I mean, it's wild to me that no game has ever really followed the Ogre Battle formula, and I don't think this game actually follows it personally. But I do think there's... Yeah, I think it's just a good game that stands on its own. Honestly, I would say it's much more akin to like Fire Emblem with elements of Ogre Battle tossed in, which is a great formula. It's its own thing. It's made by a really small team, and yeah, we'll get into it here. I thought I would record a new playthrough now that I've beaten it. So it took me about 40 hours. It took me actually exactly 40 hours to beat the first playthrough. So there's a lot of content for being a game that probably won't have much replay value, honestly, since it's not a roguelike. It's, you know, it's kind of a linear game. We don't need the tutorials. We'll do Warlord. So I'd beaten it on Captain before, so Warlord will have enemy HP and attack power increased only for experienced players. Now, I've toyed with if I want to do this or not, the permadeath. So, I'm generally a fan of permadeath in games. You know, my favorite genre is roguelite. I don't think I'm going to enable permadeath, though, for the specific reason that I just don't think it's implemented that well in this game. So, if you think back to the original Ogre Battle on the SNES, it does have permadeath, but it only occurs if your whole squad is wiped. So you have these different squads with these different people in it. The whole squad has to die in order for them to die. If one, you know, basically if everybody except one in that squad, if one person survives in that squad, everybody comes back for the next mission, right? But in this game, any little guy that dies with permadeath enabled will die. Aside from like the story important characters, which to me, I don't know. I had originally started that way on my normal mode playthrough, and I quickly restarted without it because it just wasn't fun. It was because here's the thing: without giving too many spoilers away, you're just guaranteed to lose a lot of people. So it kind of trivializes picking up people. And I like to kind of get attached to the, you know, the stupid little characters that you're creating for your squads. And with the permadeath, basically only the story characters will be relevant. And I just don't really want to deal with that. So we're not going to enable it. Yeah, and let's get into it here. I'll explain things as they come about. So this is very similar, by the way, to the start of Ogre Battle, right? They ask you a few questions. I don't really know what effect they have on, like, creating your character. I'm just gonna choose whatever here. So, maybe I'll try different things than I did the other time. So I'm almost certain I would have said offer one male. Let's be a dick this time. Let's just intimidate him. What is the most important trait? Yeah, let's just do all the, like, really powerful dick things. The dick moves. On death scenario, what you consider? Because I bet that will just make my guy offensively oriented, which is what I found to be the best strategy. I don't know, did it my way. we'll give a little Frank Sinatra there. Which personal flaw do you avoid the most? Lack of willpower, I guess. What do you look? Well, in prestige. And it should be a girl this time around. It might. There are like some romance options in the game, but they're pretty. It's just like one. There's really nothing to it, but it might just give me more options for like creating synergies. We'll just go with the default name, I guess, Lindley. Thank you. What an intriguing soul. Now, I will say the story is nothing groundbreaking in this game, but I actually thought it was pretty okay. It's very similar to like a Fire Emblem story. You know, there are different warring factions. You know, you build your army, so on and so forth. But I actually think that this story was better than the Fire Emblem stories. I never really thought the Fire Emblem stories were particularly good, though. And again, I wouldn't say it's an amazing story, but it's decent for what it is. So here we are at like a orphanage or whatever, or like a temple orphanage. And there I am in bed. I'll let you read these on your own. I don't really know if I want to read all the dialogue out loud. And I will say, I never actually found your main character to be that good in this game. You know, a little bit of spoilers, but typical to like a Fire Emblem game, for example, your main character kind of gets this specific power spike later on. And I felt like before that power spike happens, it's a pretty bad character. And then when that power spike happens, it's still not like the best character in the game. There's several other characters I think are better than your main character. But we'll see this time around. Maybe the harder difficulty will change things. Because I feel like I could get away with a lot on normal difficulty that I might not be able to get away with on the hardest difficulty here. Yeah, so the world here is called Tanra. 997. Sayuna. Or Sayuna. Kingdom of Gold. Free Republic of Sandraka. And yeah, I think there's actually a lot of flavor that they built into this world. Like, you could actually, like, if they make some DLC or sequels, there's a lot to work off of. You'll see it, though. They do good world building, I think. A good job of world building. The hegemonic empire of Viridia. So Viridia is like, you know, the main everything here. Imperials, if you want to call them that. I think they are called the Imperials. So this is just backstory. Empress Florina. Antares. So this is just setting up the first few missions here. Basically, this Antares guy stole the last picture you saw. Empress Florina. Or I kidnapped her, yeah. And he's a rebel. The former general of this area. And his little rebellion has taken over this little area. East Wall. Casimir. Now, if you look at that face, you know where he's headed. The ambitious Prime Minister Casimir. Here's our main character at the top. I already forgot what they named her. Oh, Linley. Yeah, Linley. Should have changed that name. It's kind of a lame name, huh? Linley? Doesn't sound very badass. Like, I should have thought more about this. I'm stuck with this name now. Whatever. Oh yeah, and then you got your friend Zelos here. It's Chad, I will call him. If you look at that face portrait, that's definitely Chad. Zelos, aka Chad. So, this is our first time being able to lead a group of soldiers into battle, so we're having a little celebration at camp. And Zelos is quite powerful. That sound effect, for whatever reason, always signifies that a character is like disgruntled or angry. That little... It's just something I picked up on throughout playing it. So basically the rebels are raiding villages earlier than expected, so they need to go out there and stab them, you know what I mean? It's a very simple, easy mission. Now, something about this game that I like, but it's something to keep in mind, is there's a huge benefit to being the one that calls the shots. Essentially, you attacking them is a huge advantage. Them attack, like, so some of these games, I think Fire Emblem's pretty guilty of this. Like, a lot of times the strategy is just to hold up at a choke point and let them attack you. Sometimes, it depends, right? But that's really never a good strategy here, necessarily. It can be sometimes, but in general, you want to be the one attacking.
Ready.
And if you aren't, so you can always see what their range is, and the AI in this game, even on normal mode, I'm sure it'll be the same on Warlord mode, they're very, very, opportunistic. Like, they will find your weakest group and pound them over and over again until they're dead. Like, they don't give a fuck. There's no fairness with them, right? Like, they're actually pretty brutal in that regard. So, like, right now, since my main character, Linley, you'll notice on the right side, there's a 2, 3, 8, 8. That is what the game determines, like, their overall threat level is. You notice it's a lot less than Zelos here. The enemies will just always go to your unit, if they can, that has the lowest threat level, because to them, that's their easiest kill. So when we make our moves, we do them with the knowledge that if these guys are left over and, you know, not dead, that they're going to attack Linley. Look at that. That guy's name's Chad. Well, we got the real Chad here. Oop. I actually kind of meant to do that, but first let's go ahead and attack this. So my thought here is we might as well attack this unit with Lindley, because Zealous cannot reach it. We don't want to let Gerald get a free attack in. So we'll attack Gerald with Lindley. You can get some information here. You'll get different types of attack options eventually, but for now it's pretty simple. So the battle just kind of happens. They target based on what their unit kind of is set to do. These guys are all going to attack the units in front. Some other units will like attack different rows, but right now it's just pretty simple stuff. And we'll go ahead and attack Chad with the real Chad. Battle of the Chads here. Yeah, as you can see, Zealous a little bit better than our Lindley here. And then we end turn because we only have 2 units. See, now when they attack us, at least we whittled them down so that only 1 was there. Plus we hurt their morale. They'll do less damage when their morale is hurt. So we have now some of these units, like this unit here, and I guess this unit as well, they're just programmed to defend only, or we'll say their orders from their general, Hugo here, will only just sit here and defend this area. So we just have to worry about these guys. And now these guys are obviously a bit bigger than the last ones we fought, so we need to be a little bit careful here. We don't really want Lindley to take hits from all 3 of these. Like what we could do, well, yeah, let's see. I think we might as well just get this. You get experience and like leadership points for taking these over, and we don't need Zealous to be leveled up. We want Lindley too, because Zealous is already powerful enough. And Zealous, let's see, we can just have... Oh. The Imperial Army has already arrived. Much sooner than I expected. Wolfgar, I'm trusting you to lead our troops here. Yeah, see, this is why I'm not gonna read all the dialogue. I'm bad. I'll make them, yeah. Wolfgar ain't shit, dude. Alright, we got our first 2 allies here. This is Jules. Now, Sybil, or Sybil, I don't know how you say it, kinda sucks. I'll get to all that later, though. But, you know, later on she gets better, but I don't want to spoil too much. But she's very similar to your main character in that regard. Like, she just starts out really bad. So does Jules, to a certain extent. Yeah, like, these 2 characters are not necessarily that strong early on, but they become quite good later. If you put in the work to make them good. So Jules is your main one of your main character's friends from like the academy or whatever you want to call it, the battle, boot camp. And then Sybil is just only friends with Jules, I think. I don't think your main character actually knows Sybil. Yeah, Imperial Academy Cadet. Alright. And they have dialogue options, which means if they meet your main character, they can have like a dialogue tree. So the way the archers work, they can attack right now at least. You can upgrade them later, but 2 tiles away normally. So I could go here and attack. However, their archers would fire back because they also have the same range, right? As you can see here. However, if I go on a mountain right here,
Stay strong,
or here.
Everyone.
Maybe I'll just go here. It doesn't actually matter. Either way, it's like 1, 2, 3. Probably here is better then. So now I get an extra range. See how instead of 2, I'll go back really quick and just illustrate it. If I don't go on that mountain, I don't have the ability to attack. But if I go here, I do. So my range would only be here if I wasn't on the mountain, but I get an extra range because I'm on the mountain. So now we'll fire and we can't be fired back on. because we outrange them now. Now, but early on, as you see there, the archers just aren't that strong. You really need to get like the final tier of archer to actually make them decent. We'll go down and finish them off with Sybil here. Now, the reason Sybil... So Sybil's group here is fine right now. But Sybil herself just kind of sucks. I'll get into that once we finish this mission and go over the stats a little bit. So I don't want Zealous to steal too much of the experience here, because again, he's already quite powerful. If I were to move here, he could get attacked by basically all of these, or the two of them. I guess he still can get attacked by the two of them, so it doesn't matter. I guess we'll just move him up there then. He'll get attacked from range and not be able to fire back. Actually, yeah, he will. He has archers, so this is fine. Oh well, whatever. He's just going to take these hits, but that's fine because he's Zealous. I just don't want him to get too many kills. I'd rather get these weaker characters some experience. Oh, so they did the trick. I didn't even realize there was a mountain right there. See, yes, so the AI is relatively smart though, right? Like, they're not just doing random shit. Like, they'll do usually what is... Damn it, he killed him. Okay, well, I fucked that up. We basically just wasted a bunch of experience, which I feel like on the hard mode is not something we have the luxury to be wasting.
For my people, for my homeland.
So this is 3. I probably can't kill them, but we'll try. If I can't, I'm just gonna not kill him with Zealous and see what we can do there. So we have a healer. Healers are very important in squads. It makes it so you can just do a lot more in the playthrough, or in the mission. Otherwise, you're not healing, and you can only do so many engagements before your dudes die. Now, by the way, we won't see it much in this mission since this mission is easy as hell. But once we get to the tougher stuff here, this is why I didn't do permanent death, right? Like these units here, if they died in these battles, they'd just be gone. You can technically resurrect them some of the time, but it's like tedious to do so, and I just didn't want to add that level of tediosity. Yep, that's a word. Look it up. We can also check the mission, so there's ways we can earn more faction experience and whatnot by doing specific things. So, like, we've already attacked from a hill using Jules' squad, but now we want to seize all map objectives. We also have a target turn of 11 to finish it in. Then we have also the target objectives and target squads. I found that almost always gets completed. Like, the way I am, I don't leave any squads alive, and I don't leave any objectives not captured, right? That's not the way I'm going to play it. But the target turns is something to pay attention of, and the unique things here can be sometimes things you want to pay attention to.
We will always find a way.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a pot shot here at these guys. We'll outrange them still, because they don't have any range guys. But yeah, see, it doesn't do too much damage. The archers are just kind of weak.
Here comes Sybil.
We'll see if Sybil can finish this off. If not, the enemy will attack us next turn, and that should be enough. So right now, Sybil's good because she's like a tier 2 healer compared to like everything else, which is like tier 1 right now. But her stats for being a healer just aren't good.
Direct my blade.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this character. I think I'm just gonna let him sit back and let the other guys handle everything. Because I don't really want to waste experience on the guy who's already hella powerful. So they'll attack me. I don't know if you can see, but I'm doing less damage when I'm defending, on top of just not getting priority on the attack. Just to add to my earlier point about that.
The time to act is now.
Let's go ahead and get our dialogue options in right now. So let's get the C's here. We have 11 turns, so we're fine.
They'll notice this one for
We'll
sure.
put you up here. Get your dialogue in. Well met. Name's Sybil. I'm a battle maiden of Iridia. Oops. It's really easy to accidentally skip dialogue. It's one thing I don't really like in the game. I missed, because it's like, it'll kind of pause, making you think you need to click and move forward, but then the dialogue like pops in right as you're clicking. It's kind of annoying. Oh yeah, and she can heal, because she has a healer here, so I can heal either of these squads. Probably just heal this one, I guess. Heal her own squad.
Stay strong,
Jules
everyone.
in there too. I really like Jules though eventually. Like, early on in my playthrough I was like, God, this guy sucks. But by the end, he's pretty legit. We won't give up on Jules. I'll probably be trying to level him like as much as possible. Now remember, Jules and your main character used to be just friends coming up in the academy. So now they're catching up, talking about the mission and what they can do with each other. And we can shuffle units too if you want, after they're done moving. But I don't think we want to do that. Jules in the back just sort of makes sense. Zelos, you've done enough already, friend. We'll take a pot shot here from this mountain. Oh. So there's weather effects too, along with like day-night cycle. I wish... one thing I do wish is there's a little bit of a lack of information in this game. Like, in my opinion, you should be able to hover these and see what the effect is, but I don't know the exact effect. I just know that ranged attacks are not as good in the rain, and they're also not as good at night. But we'll still be able to, you know, get some hits in here. They'll actually be able to counterattack here, I just realized. Yeah. So much like the mountain... Ooh, I got a free action, nice. Okay, we won that one. Now, if both squads don't wipe, it'll determine a winner based on usually the damage done, but there's a few different factors there. And then you can get a morale boost, and the enemy can get a morale hit based on who wins. You can still lose morale by winning, though. I've noticed. Like, if you just keep getting attacked a ton, you will lose all your morale. You don't want to, like, have one unit just tank everything. So, the reason they could counterattack me there is because they're in a fort. I don't know if you can see that behind, but this unit is sitting in a fort. You can see it at the top there. It also says fort next to top left, turn 5, and then fort 1510. 1510 is just the coordinates. A fort is much like a mountain. It's actually better because it gives you defensive bonuses that are pretty high, but it also allows any archers to essentially get that range increase. So, do we want to get this kill with the main unit or Sybil? I think we want it with the main unit because the main unit is just so weak. Alright, there we go. And Sybil, we can just go over here and get that capture, I think. Heal for whatever that's worth. She won't be fighting anymore, though. We're gonna take this guy out with just these two best buds here. And they do also get, I believe, a defensive bonus by being in the castle up there. Wolfgar. Alright. Guess they have some extra troops here. So this is probably...
For my homeland.
These guys are pretty tough compared to what we have here. We may actually want to bring in Sybil. So Sybil... They'll be trying to go for jewels. We can either try to strike him right now, because we are in range to do that. The only problem is they're going to be able to get to jewels, so we're probably not going to be able to kill him. Tell you what, Zealous, you can capture this city over here. We need to bring these 3 in. So, this troop here will do quite a lot of damage. This one's not... These 2 aren't too bad, but definitely if they can all get to Jules, Jules is going to be dead. We may actually want to set up a defense here at the fort. That's what I'm thinking. I could also defend the bridge. Only one of them can attack me along with the ranged, so I could probably survive this hit if I just go right here. So let's do this. I'm going to wait here. We'll let them come at us, and I'll give a heal to Jules here. And then next turn we'll try to break through their defense. Or break through their line, because they're going to come at our main character here, Lindley. Alright, not bad, not bad. We got 1 unit though that's pretty low. Which, by the way, if permadeath were on, they'd be in danger of just permanently being dead right now. Sometimes it is kind of weird, like, if they give you a weak ranged attack like that and you have a healer, it's almost like a benefit for you to have that happen.
Here comes Sybil, ready or
Odd
not.
as that is. Let's go ahead and break through this. We should be able to kill them. If the front 2 units die, then the back unit will just retreat. That's a critical hit there. Yep, so you notice the back unit surrendered there, so this unit is now done. So now we're free to bring Sybil in to attack whoever. I think this group scares me a little more, so let's go ahead and attack them. They won't fire back because we're outranging them here. Nice. Little bastard, surviving on 7 health there.
You'll notice this one for sure.
Your command?
I'm gonna be greedy here and still not use Zealous to fight. Just use him to seize that.
I'm just getting started.
Sybil can get some experience here. Alright. Wow, I'm getting a lot of free actions. I don't know why I'm getting so many. On normal mode, I never got any free actions on this fight. I remember. Like this entire mission. I mean, I didn't start getting free actions until like midway in the game, so this is interesting. I don't know if they like patched it during my playthrough. Maybe. I could just be getting lucky. I'm getting another one. I don't know why I'm getting so many. It's interesting. I did put it on Warlord, right? I didn't put it on like easy mode accidentally. Pretty sure I put it on Warlord. Alright, let's try to get Jules some... Well...
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
Let's let
For my people, for my homeland.
yeah, let's do this. Alright. We could probably just do a little ranged battle here for a little bit. So,
How can I help?
I mean, we have a better... We should have a better set of archers than this guy has. So we can gain some experience here for Jules. They'll attack us next turn, but that's fine. Let's go
For sure.
seize that with Sybil. We do want to get all the objectives before we kill him. Okay, it turns out my archers are just a lot worse than his, actually. My 3 are worse than his, too, it seems. That's fine, though.
Just getting started.
Oh, and I don't think so there's these mines or otherwise resource captures you can get. Those resources are just used to upgrade units later.
We will always find
We
a
might
way.
lose some archers here, but that's fine because we don't have permadeath on. I just can't seem to break through them. Yeah, so permadeath, I would have lost that guy, in, you know, for good, which would obviously suck.
I must stay strong.
Let's go in there and get some fighting in. Yeah, pound Wolfgang. Ouch. Okay, I would have lost that guy too. Wow, and that girl. Jesus. Well, I might actually lose here. Fuck. That is not good. Well, hopefully we don't just die here. I could, because none of his units died, and 2 of mine died. Okay, good, he attacked Jules. But Jules could die here if he gets a free action. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't put permadeath on. Because I would have to replace all these units. Dare I try to get another shot in? I don't think I dare.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
I should get the kill here.
Lies before me.
And we can just capture with Jules. Jeez, they're getting so many critical hits. Alright, class mastery up. That means they could technically upgrade
Stay
already.
strong, everyone.
Alright, seize it. Nice. We took under the turn limit. Basically, we got everything we could get. And the 2 surrenders count for extra bounty and, like, experience. Now, in the next few fights, we'll be able to try to force surrenders, which is something we'll want to be doing whenever we can, just to min-max. Get more gold and experience that way. So there's General Antares and the captured Empress Florina. It's really cool in this game if you pay attention. So, like, you know, we're at East Wall, now he's talking about Centurion's Rest. Like, these locations and otherwise details come up a lot throughout the story. It's not just like one and dones, let's put it that way. But yeah, pay attention to all the names of places and stuff if you do care about the story. You know, for the people that don't, you can just skip ahead. You can tell there's history between these characters, right? Alright, so yeah, I got tons of saves from before. I'll leave a gap. We'll go to save 9 here. If they ever release DLC or whatever, I'd probably want to go back to that other... Well, I don't know. I'm probably at the point now where I should be playing on the hardest mode if I want any sort of challenge. Alright, so we captured this East Wall fortress. So there's a place called Centurion's Rest within this forest. So since we just, you know, took over that place, the army is going to give us the option to pursue them into the forest. So General Antares, remember, was a former kind of hero of this continent here in the previous war, so there's conflict with these people, because it's like you're basically going to war with someone that was kind of a hero in your folklore or whatever. So we can do these dialogue options. I don't know why we have to choose to do these. The only ones that really matter are the romance ones, because those are the ones that, like, all the other ones, you just click them and there's no reason not to. And you just get benefits from them. Yeah, you bet your ass if Jules is an option, I'm going for that one. I'm sure he will be. So he's a Sayunari, which is that sort of southeast desert continent, the Kingdom of Gold. But he didn't really grow up there. He's just of that heritage, but he was adopted out to the main continent. So there's kind of a Donar. You can almost think of it as almost like your typical, like, you know, religious god or whatever. And there's temples and whatnot. Sybil, that priestess character, is like a member of the Dinari Temple. A fledgling member of it. Like, not a very experienced one. Jules is kind of a happy-go-lucky character. They have become... Weird that they've become friends. They should have already been friends, story-wise, but... So yeah, you can always look at your story characters to see the bonds that they have, and when you're in battle, if you're within, like, 3 tiles of the other person, you get a bonus. There's also some unique bonuses, too. Which kind of sucks, because again, I do think the UI could use some improvements in this game, like, because there are unique bonds. I don't think I have any right now, but they're there, and like, if you don't catch what it said right when you get the bond, you'll never be able to know later on what that unique bond did, because there's, for instance, ones where it's like, if you have the character in the other squad, they'll cost like half the capacity or whatever. And you can't like hover and see that, so there's definitely just a lack of being able to hover stuff. You'll also see it pretty soon when I look at the squads. Let's do this one really quick though. This is Sybil and Jules. Oh yeah, I guess Jules was, when he was adopted, it was by some nobility. So Sybil is like a priestess, but she didn't want to be a priestess. She would have rather been a paladin. And paladins, by the way, are badass in this game. They're probably the ideal unit, I would say, in a lot of senses. But we won't have any of them for a little bit here. Spoiler alert, Sybil will have the option to become a paladin later, and that's when I said she goes from bad to good, because if you look at her stat line, it's not really meant to be a priestess, it's meant to be a fighter, so her stats are just going to waste. The only reason she's good right now is because she, like I said, is a tier ahead of everyone in what her unit is. She's a tier 2 unit, while everybody else is a tier 1 unit. But once the other units catch up and become tier 2 and even tier 3 and whatnot, Sybil just becomes pretty shit until she actually gets that paladin upgrade. I feel like that's not too much of a spoiler. I feel like you have, if you're paying attention to any of this, it's pretty obvious that, you know, the minute I saw this dialogue, I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously this character is going to become a paladin, or has the option to become a paladin. Yeah, they're just going back and forth on... Yeah, I don't need to really say much there. I mean, you can... I'm just giving you brief summaries of what's going on in the story, if you didn't want to read the dialogue, but you can just read the dialogue on your own. So every... Well, not every, but most missions you'll be able to go to a marketplace in between and make recruitments. Now, if you were playing on permadeath, you would be recruiting units left and right every time. So you'll always have these default, like, 4 options here that are like the most basic low-tier units. They don't have anything notable about them, but then you'll get other options here. Like, so this level 4 priestess is a tier 2 unit, tier 2 healer. But also they'll get an extra like trait you'll notice in the bottom right. Now again, this is where I think the UI kind of sucks. You cannot hover these traits to like learn about them, which is stupid. So you just have to know, based on encountering the traits as learnable traits, what they do. Like I know imposing, for example, what all it does, which is by the way a horrible trait to have on this unit. It just means that their strength, if they have a bigger strength than the unit they're attacking, this unit would never attack, by the way, because it's a healer. It's a dedicated healer. It would hurt their morale a lot if you have more strength than the unit you're attacking. And it hurts the morale based on how much difference in strength there is, so that's literally a useless trait on this unit. And Mercenary will always be something that you get on these like rarer units, and thus more expensive units. And I forget exactly what it does. I don't know if it even means much. I think it just means they have to earn a certain level of loyalty. Guardian just means if they're guarding your leader, they get like a defense bonus. So this unit makes a lot more sense, except there's another thing at play here, which also makes Lena even worse. There's just no way I buy Lena here, but you'll notice there's an affinity here of water. And in general, water is the most annoying affinity to get stuck with, because it's just objectively bad for any fighting type unit, and most of the units in this game are fighting type units. There's only a few magic units, the healers and the mages, and that's about it. They're the only ones that are going to want water. Nobody else wants water. So like when you see water here, it makes this unit a lot worse. They have a lot less strength. They have magic that goes completely to waste. But the great thing about this is, well, not great, but the okay thing there is you can change their affinity. There's a limited amount of resources to do that, though, so you have to plan around that. So I don't think I'm even going to buy a unit here, is a long story short of this. Like, I could, but they're just not really looking that good to me. And you kind of want to save a little bit of gold for shops that come up in missions, because if there is a shop in a mission, there isn't always one, but a lot of times there is, you can get better units and better items, and it's just like you have to have gold to be able to do it then. So it's kind of what that comes down to. Ruby Ring is definitely okay. So these, we can buy a plethora of things from the trader. Ruby Ring is a cheap item that is just kind of pretty useful, and I'll probably buy these as well because they're both good. Horses are good because they'll allow us to upgrade cavalry, and cavalry in this game is quite good. I wouldn't even, like, I plan on making quite a lot of cavalry if I can in this playthrough, because
We'll get to it, but it's good. Now, Sergeant's uniform is also decent. I'll probably buy it. It just allows you to have more squad capacity. So let's take a look. We can look at our tech tree as well. We probably should have done this before we started buying stuff, but so apprentice training. The apprentice is that mage unit. All this does is allow us to buy mages, and I might do that. Mages are a decent unit. They're pretty glass cannony, and they're not that good right now, I think, but there's a simple upgrade here that we can get. Where is it? Non-leader units. Oh yeah, I guess it's a ways up here. I thought it was in this tier, but some Magician's Initiative, after you get this upgrade, the mages become quite good. Because it means when you're on... they take a while to cast. You'll notice, I don't know if you noticed in the last fight, because I didn't really point it out, but like, your normal units will attack, but your mage has to like power up for an extra turn before it attacks, but Magician's Initiative will make it so they attack right at the get-go. Which is huge because it's just a gigantic amount of damage, and you can often just snipe out enemy units, backline units especially. There's a bit of RNG involved in what the magician will target, but long story short, this Magician's Initiative makes your mages pretty good. So I have 2 points to spend here. All of these bottom tier upgrades are going to be a point. Apprentice training I might get just because I didn't have any good recruitment options in my opinion, and I would like to recruit a unit, at least to help with the next fight. Mentorship, expands mercenary and item trader pools. Oh, I think we definitely want to do that. Yeah, that's just something we want early. Just get some more options. I think it'll give our current shop more options too. Zones of Control's alright. Battle Medics, is alright. Not really that needed right now. That one is like, is okay. Each unit gains +3 weapon for each unit of a different type added to the squad. That one, you know, it can be okay. Target leader, I don't think that's actually, like, this path is pretty good, but I hardly ever actually use target leader. The leaders are just whatever. Like, you're better off just killing as many units as possible. Even with that morale, like, if you're killing units, you're doing a ton of morale damage. Ooh, we could do standing army. That would definitely help things get off to a... Since we haven't recruited anything yet. Second artifact slot is good, but we don't need it right now. Crossbows I don't care about. They're really not that good. We don't have any real need for these. These are eventually good. I think it's either apprentice or... standing army. I think we'll do standing army. I don't need another apprentice right now. Another thing is, like, I generally like a lot of healers, and healers and mages actually contend for the same type of resource for upgrades. I think this one will just get us off to a better start here. And like I said, the mages aren't even necessarily that great right now until they get their upgrade. So now, yeah, we already got an extra option here, you'll notice, because we just had Lena and Ethron before, and Dorothea looks pretty good to me. It's a tier 1 unit, but that also is just fine because it makes it cheaper. It starts with the gorilla trait, which it automatically would get anyway, but then it also gets lucky. And lucky is quite a good trait because I think it just gives them a higher chance to crit. Also, you'll notice the affinity of fire there works decently well. It gives some bonus to strength, and that's really the main thing I'm looking for in most of the fighting classes is a bonus to strength. So I will definitely take Dorothea. Earth is like whatever. It's good for being a tank, but it's hard to it doesn't really help with your dealing of damage, which, like I said, I'd rather have people that deal damage versus being a tank. It's good to be tanky, but you want, like, if I were to compare it to League of Legends, you want bruisers instead of tanks. That's how I would say it. We could actually probably buy this. Lightning is fine. I think that gives, even though it gives some strength, I think it gives some magic as well. And like I said, the healers are very good. And now we got that. It comes in upgraded. Also, these normal 4, I can just keep buying and buying and buying. We got another item here. That is a good item. We'll buy it. But yeah, we'll definitely still try to keep some money. We don't want to lose all of our money. So now we can organize our army. We have these 2 units that we bought in reserve, so we can put them in wherever we want. We also have some upgrades to make. Change class is how you upgrade. So we got William here. Can upgrade. So there are requirements of resource and also stats to be able to upgrade a certain stuff. So this guy has the water affinity. Boo. We can change that later. We will. But it's also just a low tier unit, right? Like the units that start here, they're nothing special. We can still upgrade now though. I'd almost rather reserve my horses for better units, such as the one I just bought. I could just make this one a spearman for now. I'll have plenty of iron throughout the run, but there's only so many horses early on. We'll be getting a cavalry unit pretty soon that we can just save a horse for to upgrade some other unit. So I think we're just going to make this one into a spearman for now. And hopefully we can change the affinity later. And we'll add Dorothea to this unit. That'll be our star pupil. And I think we want Jules to get this healer, because Jules doesn't have a healer right now. And Jules is not that in need of a healer, but it kind of is. There's a lot of back and forth with archery fights, and you'll want somebody to heal back as you're taking return volleys of fire. So yeah, we'll save the gold though. I want to save gold for the next missions. I'll give it a new save. I generally like to save like at the start before I make a bunch of decisions, and then right after, just in case I think I want to redo all my decisions essentially, right? Alright, so now we're ready to deploy. It'll be faster normally. I wanted to explain kind of a few things about the game so it doesn't just not make sense, right? Damn, are we already too late? Our base at Marienburg is under attack. Looks like we don't have time for the rest of the army to catch up. There's the cavalry unit, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's Barnabas, we'll see. But that unit, by the way, is like amazing. That was definitely like an MVP of my previous playthrough. So green units, yep, that's Barnabas. So green is like your ally, but you don't have control over them. Alright, let's get a shot in with Jules. They don't have any ranged units. We could just go here. Let's see what the range on these guys are. So there's a bit of... Jules is still the one they're going to beeline for, otherwise it'll be Sybil.
Direct my blade. Here goes.
Let's let Zealous get a little bit of a hit in here. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Zealous just, yeah, at this point in the game, nothing can really take Zealous. If I wanted to, I could solo the entire map with Zealous, but again, you can kind of see the writing on the wall with this unit, right? Like, he's too powerful right now, so obviously it's going to fall off later in certain ways. We want Jules in the back here, because Jules is not going to survive too many hits. But yeah, we want to get hits. We want to get some shots in while we can.
They'll notice this one for sure.
If I were to move Lindley up here, they're going to take hits from that and that. It's quite a lot of damage.
I must stay strong.
We'll do decent damage there, though. I think we can do it. So let's move Sybil in and finish this off. As long as our main unit isn't dying, it should be fine. You can also quick save in the game if you want to, like, if it turns out I didn't want to make this move, right? Like, I could just protect Jules. He actually probably will. This guy will probably go to try to fight Jules. We should check the mission as well. Seize March, the trade 10. So those are pretty easy. Yeah, we got some pretty easy things here. Let's go ahead and do this. I don't think I'm going to die over this. And I do want to get attack in. See, now I've made life easier on myself by already taking one out before they even get a chance to attack. So already our main troop here is getting pretty powerful. Now these assassin units over here, I'll get into them in a bit. Once we're over there, I'll go over what they're all about. Interesting that... Oh yeah, that's right. They couldn't reach anybody but me, so it makes sense that they're attacking me. And you level up quite a lot. Like, it's kind of satisfying. Like, any significant fight, you usually level up. So they're fighting the neutral unit there. Well, not neutral, but allied unit. That guy made it to Jules. That's fine. Face the firing squad, buddy. Boom. You did. This is why it's still nice to have a healer with Jules, right? Like, I'm just not going to be able to avoid getting attacked. I don't have enough units right now to form proper walls. Eventually we will.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
Let's go ahead and just seize that with this guy. It does give him leadership, though. Maybe I shouldn't even be doing that with him. I don't know. Jules, let's see. Double check these guys' range. Okay. So these assassin units here, the guys with the daggers, they're a type of unit. It's kind of like, you know, it's pretty common in like RPGs and whatnot to have certain units or otherwise mechanics in the game that are really good for the enemy but not so good for you, and the assassins, in my opinion, are kind of like that. Like, they're a devastating unit that available to the enemy, but when you use them, they're not that good, in my opinion. Now, the reason for that is that they're kind of just these glass cannon one and dones where they'll come in and fuck your shit up and then they'll just die. So that's really good for the enemy, because the enemy is, you know, overall dumb and weak, but if they can come in and just fuck your shit up, then that unit did a lot for them, right? But for you, it's different. Like, you need longevity on your units. You need to be able to defend sometimes, and they're horrible on defense, by the way. These units are absolutely useless on defense. They're only good on offense. And even then, for you, I just don't think they're that good. But for the enemy, let's put it this way. We don't want to take hits, because what they do is they get to your back line and they do a ton of damage. So, like, here, for example, they could just get to my back line and, like, one-shot both Sybil and my mage here. They would definitely kill my healer here. Here, they would probably kill the healer. They probably wouldn't be able to kill my Lindley character because she has enough health and armor, but you kind of get the picture, right? The way to counter them is to have some of your units just stack some actual armored units in the back. And that's who you want to engage these with on some maps, but right now we don't have that luxury. So anyway, here's Wonderwall. Let's go up here and get an attack in with jewels. Now I'm attacking from the forest. It doesn't really matter right now, but what it does do is if the enemy had archers, I would have an extra bonus to dodging, and also if I had units that are able to ambush, I could ambush the enemy, and ambushes are devastating. It makes it so you attack, like, you get 2 attacks in before they do, and they don't even get to use, like, 2 rounds of attacks. They only get 1 round of attacks, so
Here comes Sybil. Ready or
it's pretty devastating. Nice. Well, you'd prefer to just kill the units and leave the healer, because right now I can't force surrender, and the only way for me to get surrenders is on healer units, but, you know, it's hard to really finesse that much. We might get it here, though. We'll probably get it here. Yeah, we'll get it here. So she'll surrender. That'll give me extra golden experience. Barnabas. Barnabas is a badass. It might be the, I don't know, definitely top 3 character in the game in my opinion. So Barnabas is like, you know, they know Lindley. He knows Jules because he was like their sergeant or something in the academy. Yeah, and they've never actually fought alongside in war because, you know, these youngins like Lindley and Jules and Sybil were not of age to fight in the last war, but Barnabas certainly was. So the teacher and the student, and usually in these games the student outpaces the teacher, but not in this game. Barnabas is actually way too badass to be outpaced by these units. Holy shit, that unit has a lot of range. Ooh, okay. We may need to protect... Okay, at least they can't capture... I can leave the base here so that they don't capture it. I need to... Let's see. So they have range. That's the only reason this unit can attack there. But I could protect this unit by putting it there. Or I could protect it from this guy. I probably should protect him from Jacob. So I'm going to move Barnabas here. And just protect against a direct attack. Because I'd probably get pretty messed up by that, I think, on this harder mode here. Yeah, we may need to think about trying to get under the target turn. So it's not like that imperative that you do. But it will give you more experience if you beat it in the target turns. Look how little damage Barnabas is taking, by the way. Barnabas is that cavalry in the front there. Like, I'm just taking hits from, you know, tier 2 units here, and just, it's like nothing. It just tickles. Barnabas, by the way, is a unit that, you know, I did say generally you don't want to have your units just taking hits from a ton of people, but Barnabas breaks that rule. Barnabas, like, there were some missions where, I don't know if I'll get away with it on the harder mode, but like, I literally tanked like the entire enemy army with Barnabas, and Barnabas like came out unscathed. We'll find out. So these guys have archers, these guys don't.
Stay strong, everyone.
So on turn 3, what's our target? Target is 11. I think we can do that. We're on pace for that. Let's go here. We're just babying Jules right now to try to get his experience up. We eventually do want some melee characters. Like, even though you don't want to go all in on archers, in my opinion, because there is just going to be too many unavoidable scenarios where you're gonna get attacked by melee, and if you don't have a front line, even if it's a weak front line, you're gonna get massacred. Alright, who wants to kill who?
Go like this.
School is in session.
Barnabas. Yeah, we can just move him so he's able to move up a bit, and then we'll just finish them off. Possible I should just let Sybil get the kill, but I don't mind leveling up Barnabas. Barnabas is pretty legit. Oh yeah, and since it's a cavalry unit, I can even move after this. So I'm gonna do that. I'll just let Barnabas start seizing control of all these areas. Now, like I said, we don't want to let these attack us. However, I think we can probably let Zelos tank a hit. So let's do that. And then we'll have Zelos behind, and she can't get attacked since Zelos is in front. We don't need to heal Zelos. We only have so many heals, so we might as well hold them for when we need them. So you can heal on the map if you don't do an attack, right? And you can heal other units too if they're adjacent to you. If I lose the archers of Zealous, I don't care too much. So see, he goes behind. Didn't actually kill him because they actually only have one assassin, it looks like. The rest were all skirmishers. Skirmishers are a similar unit to assassin in that they're kind of these glass cannon, high damage units that allow you to ambush, but they don't actually, the skirmishers can't actually get to your back line like that. I don't know what this guy's doing. I would have thought he would have came down here, but okay. Let's go ahead and Jules can't really do anything here. Let's move him toward this area though. Actually it doesn't really make much sense, does it? Yeah, let's just move him up here then. He's out of range, so that's fine. I'm gonna be a little greedy here and just wait. Oh yeah, he is. You know what? Whatever. Let's just kill him. It's not that much experience. It's only one guy. Let's let Sybil start moving in so that she can get a capture. Move up this way. Oop, we need to capture stuff. Go ahead and capture that. Oh, and so these sort of walls here, right? Very similar to mountains and fortresses. Even better though. Like, so if they're on this archer, you'll notice it has the extended range you get from being elevated, but it'll also have a ton of defense. Even so much so that I can't actually, if I attack from here, here, or here, only my ranged units can attack. I can't actually even hit them with melee units when they're on this wall like this. I have to come up the stairs and get onto the actual platform if I do want to attack with my melee units. So that's like definitely these garrisons here can be pretty tough to deal with. We want to try to backdoor them essentially.
Your command?
Here comes Sybil.
Let's go ahead and actually. That's gonna be that's a pretty. It's a pretty rough group there.
For Viridia.
I don't even think I can attack from there, can I?
Direct my blade. Here goes nothing.
I don't know if I want to attack this with Sybil. They got 2 healers. They got a better front line than I have, and yeah, I don't beat this with Sybil. So let's just go ahead and seize that for now. I'm probably gonna have to break this with Zelos.
Your command?
I'm out of range here, so that's fine. I can just get another capture with Sybil.
I ain't got all day.
We should attack that guy. Let's do it with Barnabas. Well, let's hit him. Let's first hit him with Jules. Now these groups has a lot more assassins. This group here could be very devastating if they get an attack off.
So we absolutely want to kill them this turn, and even if it costs us getting hit by Hugh here. But I think we'll just go with Barnabas here, because I can move with Barnabas after I attack. Plus, you'll notice there it said charge. I should have hovered it longer, but these units are getting shocked. With a cavalry unit, if you move like 7 or more tiles, 6 if you get that leadership trait, but right now 7. It'll be a charge attack, which gives you like this shock effect. So I might as well move out of range, though I do still technically gain experience from getting hit. Actually, as such, I think I'll just move there, because right now it has for whatever reason, Barnabas. Now I will say this too: the threat level does not correspond to actual power level, because right now I can guarantee you Barnabas is like twice as good of a unit as Lindley, even though technically the threat level of Barnabas is lower. But that's something we can use to our advantage. What that means is we could actually move, if we wanted to, we could move Lindley into position here, and we could be pretty certain that she's not going to get attacked. But I don't care about that too much. I'm just going to take this over here. Just get a little bit of a leadership bonus. Leadership, by the way, is what lets you fit more units into your squad. The one thing I will say is your main character does have good leadership, so you can build a pretty big squad with her. But I don't know, Barnabas also has great leadership. Barnabas is just the shit. Barnabas might actually be the best unit. Like, we'll see. I'll name the units as I see them, of the ones that I thought. Look at that, 0 damage. Literally just tickling me. 0 damage, and they had a bonus to attack there. It's pretty amazing. Alright, Zealous, show us what you got. He's got a lot. Very similar to Barnabas, right? Just not taking any damage. But unlike Barnabas, Zealous will fall off.
I'm just getting started.
Damn it, I'm 1 space away. It doesn't really matter. I'll just get it next turn. So Barnabas, we can now go...
Time to end this.
I want to get an attack in first with Jules, just to get some experience. So also notice now that I'm up here, I get that increased 3 range. You notice I didn't even get a heal in there.
Master Sergeant, awaiting orders.
I'll get into that later. I can still get a heal. Just the situations there didn't allow for it. It's an order of operations thing. Yeah, get him, Barney. I may actually be inclined to move down here, because I want the experience on Barnabas and not Zealous. So now he's inclined to attack Barnabas, and I'll just get the experience
For
there.
my people, for my homeland.
Let's go ahead and get that Dinari Temple. Now this, by the way, I think this is the first we've seen of a Dinari Temple. This is where, if you did lose a unit, you could come here and spend 100 gold to resurrect the unit. So this is another reason why I was like, technically on some maps you can get around the permadeath by doing this, but it's so tedious. Like, every unit that has a unit die, you have to find usually just one Dinari Temple on map. Sometimes it's way back out of the way, and you have to move them all the way over there. You know, the gold's whatever. It's early on 100 gold's kind of matters, later on it won't, but it's just tedious. I don't want to deal with the level of tedious that permadeath adds. I would love if permadeath functioned like it did in Ogre Battle, where it's like, if your whole unit gets wiped, then yes, that unit dies. That makes sense to me, and it's a lot more fair. But who knows? Maybe if this ends up too easy, I could always you know, these first levels are meant to be easy. It'll get harder, but if it is like too easy without the permadeath, maybe I'll just restart with the permadeath. We'll see. I'm surprised that, but look, they attacked Zelos there, huh? See, it's not always a one-to-one, right? Like, Barnabas had less threat level, but they happened to attack Zelos there, so it's not always 100% guaranteed what they're going to do, right? Which is good. You don't want the game to be completely predictable.
How can I help, my lord?
I don't think I can get a shot in here.
I must stay strong.
We will always
But
find a way.
we'll move them here. I could heal. That works. Let's get the kill with Barnabas. You'll also notice, like, there is a certain positioning can definitely matter a lot, because you'll notice there I way overkilled that healer unit. It's to the point where, like, if I was actually controlling these guys, I would have been able to, like, oh, just one hit will kill her and then the rest should go in and kill the backline unit, right? But that's not how it works. You know, you'll put, even if they're dying, if they're already dead, they'll still put all the attack in there while that unit still hasn't faded away to death yet. I don't even know if I explained that very well, but hopefully that made sense. So we've gotten all the objectives. It's just a matter of taking over the base now. I'll move Zelos in case we end up needing him. So this guy, by the way, has some ranged. The main guy there actually also is ranged. It's a samurai, and a samurai is an interesting unit because it is primarily a melee unit, but it also has the capability to do archery attack. I'll be honest, their archery attack is weak as hell though, so I'm not really worried about that. It's mainly just these. Klaus, by the way. Klaus is a name that they love to give their units in this game. I find it kind of hilarious. They don't one thing I would say, they could have probably added more names to the random pool, because you will see the same names quite often in this game for just the non-story units, right? Like Klaus, I'm telling you, pay attention to how many Klauses there are. There's a lot.
Stay strong, everyone.
Let's go ahead and make a ranged attack here. Klaus, Sir Linley, the next attack dog sent by the capital. So their return fire will... Yeah, they won that one. Like I said, Jules sucks right now. He is definitely not good. I guess we could give a heal here.
Here goes nothing.
We can go ahead and do some range attacks here, it's fine. Ooh, got a free action. Nice. Eventually I'll probably want to move these archers into Jules' squad. Let's go ahead and get a hit and run in here. I'll be taking some hits. Well, they're probably not going to hurt him, honestly. Yeah, look. Okay, 69. That was big. Klaus hit me pretty good there. Damn it, Barnabas. But even in permadeath there, Barnabas would be fine. It's like the story characters don't die. If you see a portrait for them, you can rest assured that they won't die.
They'll notice this one for sure.
Jules is gonna die here. Yeah, actually took somebody out. Impressive.
Time to end this.
Let's get a few more ranged hits in here. See, I healed there, by the way. It's an order of operations thing. The other fight, I was full health on the first volley, therefore I couldn't heal. And by the time they attacked me, my healer's turn was done, essentially.
Your command?
So they're dug in pretty well here. You'll notice our ranged attacks we're getting the worst of all of these exchanges. Like, I'm getting my shit kicked in here. But we're just doing it for the experience. I'm a little afraid to even do this, but
Sergeant, awaiting orders.
I think we can afford... Well, actually... I think we're not going to kill him this turn, so let's do another hit and run. What's my target turns? 11, so I still got 2 turns of leeway here. Even if I full wipe, I should be fine, but I don't think I will. And these guys are still pretty strong. The only unit hurting me is Klaus, and Klaus is now dead. And we'll finish him off with Lindley here. Alright. Klaus, you made a good last stand, but it wasn't good enough. And I'll just give the capture to Lindley here.
Ready.
Sweet.
They've reached Centurion's rest. Fall back to the keep and prepare our final defenses. Donar save us.
You're just getting worked by a noob, Antares. A fresh face to the game. Lindley. Kicking your ass left and right. S tier, baby. S tier. We'll usually be able to get S. It's just a few missions where the missions are actually hard. Now we get a little flashback to the 20 years ago Imperial Army barracks. That's Barnabas right there with the mustache. Or mutton chop, I guess. Which is weird because his portrait doesn't have that. I don't know what's up with that.
Sergeant Barnabas, we've got another one. Get your men organized and ready to deploy in 2 hours.
I guess he does. It just doesn't look... Like, to me, this looks, you know, like your Wild West gunslinger mustache. I don't see a beard here. Maybe there's a beard, but over here it's like like a clean, nice, relatively close cut goatee with a chin strap. You know, it doesn't really match the face here. So they're establishing here that he was conflicted back in the previous war that was 20 years ago, and they went and had to, you know, attack the Dinari Temples. Barnabas is very, you know, he's a farmer that was, you know, took up arms and became a sergeant. He's a very of the people, you know. He doesn't care about this spit shining of your armor to look good in front of the public shit. He just wants to get in there and get the job done. You know, he's a hard worker, shall we say. Who do you think this is? Blue hair kid. It's you. Spoiler alert, it's you. If you couldn't tell. Little orphan trying to, you know, contribute to the war effort. What a nice guy, this Barnabas, you know what I mean? What's not to love? And I'll just resave over save 09. I'll probably only need 2 or 3 saves. Kind of went overboard before. So now we've backed Antares into a corner here. So, you know, Lindley, we did all the work. As you can see, Casimir's coming here with the main army. Late to the party, as usual. Looking to get the glory. What do we got here for supports? Damn, that is a lot. You know what? We'll save those for next video, because this is probably a good length for the first video. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look at our upgrades here. So I think we could probably do Apprentice. This one's pretty good. Zones of Control definitely allows you to, especially in these early missions where we don't have like a ton of squads, like it allows us to protect units like Jules a bit better. This is okay, because we do have a cavalry unit now. That one is... This one is like, I don't know. I actually find mixing unit types isn't always the greatest, but I guess it's nice to have a little bit of damage. That damage will fall off later, though. Could do that. This one has quite a lot of units that would gain armor. I probably would be open to getting Journeyman Leathercraft. Let's get that. Could get a recruitment slot for apprentices. Let me just check really quick what the current recruitment options are, because you can already get apprentices, as you can see here, if they're part of the rare pool. All it does is makes the normal pool open up apprentices, and I feel like I don't need that with any haste. Like, I'd like to avoid getting... The only normal stuff I'll probably buy is the healers. Goddamn water. I swear it's like water... So water here makes sense. I'll probably buy Timothy for sure, because water on a mage is great, but... Yeah... I don't know. I could get this medic too. Unassuming is a great trait to have on a medic. Unassuming makes it so they get targeted less. Lightning, it does increase magic. Lightning's a good one. It increases strength and magic, so no, you can take her in any direction you want. Water is not good for a spearman, although that trait Executioner is pretty good. Executioner makes it so if the enemy units are below like 25% health, you have a decent chance to take another attack. I might buy him just for that, in all honesty. That's pretty good. I'll probably buy this too. We want to leave some gold though, because I know that the next mission has a shop. Probably buy this. This is pretty good. You always want to buy the resources, in my opinion. Cyanuri Warpike's pretty good. I don't know if I want to... I do want to save a bit of gold. I think we can take these, though. Oh, I forgot to put my items on last. Okay, before I forget, I'm going to put my items on. These are all fine items to get. They're pretty cheap for pretty good early game help. And we'll definitely buy Timothy. And I think I could buy Marianne. I think that's pretty okay. It's cheap. I'm probably... This is the only one I'm curious about. Executioner's pretty good. The water affinity sucks, but I can change the affinity. Like, Executioner's a pretty good stat to have. I might buy it. It's... We'll just have to see. Let's take a quick look here. Make some upgrades. Alright, I have 3 of the magic upgrade here. So I have 3 options here. Acolyte, if she had more strength, But that's 7 whole strength I'd have to wait out for. And I want just a dedicated healer here for Lindley's party. This would use... Hospitaller doesn't really gain any huge advantage over Priestess, and I'd have to use a horse to do this. This would only have the advantage if I already have a cavalry unit. Because then I can maintain the cavalry status. You need like the majority of your unit to be cavalry if you want to get like that charge bonus and the ability to move extra tiles in general and also after you attack. So like this could be good for like Barnabas, but for this we're just going to make a priestess, just make it a straight up healer. Sirens I found have been pretty horrible. They're just not good. They don't do much damage. They have the lowest health in the game, essentially. So they're very easy to die. And their stun and daze is inconsistent at best. And it also just doesn't even do much until you get the ability for them to attack first. So I probably won't make any sirens on this playthrough, to be honest. I found them to be that weak. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't know what the best meta is for this game. That's just like my thoughts on a single playthrough. So now we only have 2 gems left. That is something we'll want to keep in mind. We're just going to make... I could actually hold out on this one because I do think Soldier is significantly actually a bit better than Spearman, and I'm only 1 strength away. It's the same resources to upgrade anyway. And yeah, like I said, a Soldier is just generally better, especially with the Earth affinity. Like, Soldier is a bit more of a dedicated tank than a Spearman is. So I'm going to wait just a little bit until I get 1 more strength here to upgrade it to a Soldier, so we can wait on that unit. Zealous, we could upgrade these, I guess. Oops. Oh, yeah, what items do I have? I could also just use the Roast Beef of Might to upgrade strength. I'd rather hold that out, though, for a unit that needs it. When I'm only 1 strength away, there's not that many Roast Beef of Mights in the game. I guess it's probably RNG based with exactly which items you're going to get anyway. Cold-Blooded as a trait is decent. It's gives you just some damage to already damaged units, which for an archer could be pretty good. But I don't care about Zealous that much. Let's just see which upgrades can be made. Oh yeah, Archer's great. You'll notice it doesn't even cost anything to upgrade these, so this is just an easy one to make. Now, this... yeah, it'll just make them better. You'll notice their skill goes up, their strength goes up, HP goes up slightly. It's not a huge upgrade, but it's free, and that's a pretty good price to pay. I could change this one to a horsebow. I'm actually pretty open to that. I eventually don't really want to use this squad, and I can repurpose this unit to something else, and since this has the higher requirement here, let's go ahead and do that. Jules has a bunch of upgrades to make. We'll give you... we could do... I don't know if I want horsebows in Jules' squad. I could. Let's see, so that one could get upgraded. Let's just see. Hospitaller. I mean, if all of them can actually upgrade to horsebow, I guess I will. I got 3 horses to use here. Right now, I could actually make this into a cavalry archer squad, which is actually pretty good. I guess I'll do that. If the chips fall that way, might as well do it. It allows us to really position a lot better. At really no downside. There's no downside, or there's no upside to using the infantry units over cavalry, in my opinion, if you have the resources to spend. So yeah, I think this, now that the majority of this, even though Jules is not a cavalry, I think this unit, yeah, so look here. So Zealous right now they only have one cavalry unit. Look at the move column here. It says infantry, so they count still as an infantry squad. Jules is now upgraded to a cavalry squad, so they get everything that a cavalry unit provides, they get. So that's great. Cybele, nothing to upgrade there, and neither with that. So we have the one upgrade here that we're sitting on. I'm going to just sit on it. Let's get some artifacts in though. So Lindley could definitely use the steel greatsword, I think. Oh, we have a unit. First, let's just see who needs units. I could add Timothy to this unit. I think that makes sense. Oh wait, okay, never mind. They don't have the space for it. But now if I add this here, will I lose my cavalry, I wonder? Let's find out. Nope. So actually I'm still cavalry with Jules. I will say though, I don't think that this unit makes sense in the Jules squad here. I just wanted to see. Like right now I think Cybele, Barnabas could use the healer. That one's for sure. And there's still cavalry, so that's fine. I think I'll give another thing to Cybele here. The, oh, I can't. Well, I guess we'll edit to Jules for now with the I could edit to Zealous, but again, I don't really want to be using Zealous right now. We'll just give it to Jules for now. It doesn't make sense to have in Jules' squad, but it's there, I guess. It's the only one that has the space for it other than Zealous, and I just don't really want to use Zealous. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. This actually makes complete sense. We're going to take away this unit from Zealous, and then we'll go remove that. I think we should be able to fit this in. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so we'll go. We got even more archers here. Jules is actually coming together pretty nicely. And we'll just give this guy here for now. Actually, how much? Just looking at his leaders. 37, okay. I was going to say, sometimes these units can be an okay leader on their own. You can just make a new squad with them, but 37 leadership isn't really good enough. So yeah, now we just want the artifacts. Let's give Lindley the steel greatsword. Dinari staff. Just trying to see, make sure. Yeah, let's give it the steel greatsword. Jules has 4 capacity to work with. What is best? Emerald ring, I think. Because they have a need of skill. Cybele could do a number of things. They actually have a lot of mages though, so like anything that's magic oriented, so like Acolyte's mace could be okay. Dinari staff could be okay. Sapphire ring could be okay. I think I actually like this one though. It gives me a little bit of tankiness as well as magic. So we'll just do that. Barnabas could use probably this war pike. It's either that or ruby ring. Ruby ring gives more strength, but Sayonari gives a little bit of tankiness and quite a lot of extra damage to cavalry. So now Zealous, we can give Zealous something, I guess. Ruby ring kind of makes sense. Yeah, alright. Well, I think that's good enough for today's episode. In the next episode, I'm going to revisit if I want Anton in or not, and we'll get the support things out of the way. We can also do arena matches once we start getting tokens. So we'll give it a quick save. I'll give myself, let's see, chapter 3. Yeah, we'll give it the second slot here. And yeah, let me know what you think of the game. I would say this: if it does look enticing, what you've seen so far, I would just go out and get it. This game is super fun. I don't think there'll be huge replay. Like, this is not like the type of game where you put over 100 hours into it, at least currently, because
Like I said, you probably just play it through on the normal difficulty, your first playthrough, or hard if you want. And then you do maybe 1 or 2 more playthroughs max. It's not a roguelite, so that just doesn't have that replayability, but I don't know, it's pretty fun. I think it's a really solid game. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.